Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Mr. Dubs here. Today I'm going to be bringing you all of the different weapon finishers as well as special interactions with all the different weapons in AEW Fight Forever. The first half of the video you're going to see here, as I'm going to grab all of the weapons and test all of them just to show you what doesn't have a finisher. As you'll see, there will be a prompt that comes up that says weapon finisher while you're in your special, if it has one, right? As obviously that wasn't a weapon finisher, that was a regular interaction. And we're going to show here, again, those are just the regular weapon interactions with these. This is your first set of weapons when you have a weak state, as I showed you in my last video, how to choose what sets of weapons you pull out from under the ring. This would be what I consider the ring crew set of weapons from the first set when you have low health meter, being in blue or in danger. These are all the weapons you pick out, like the pizza boxes, brooms, wet floor signs, etc., pool cues. Was hoping the pool cue maybe had a cool interaction, but unfortunately it did not. And yeah, as you see, I accidentally grabbed a weapon there from the barricade while I had my special. Obviously it's going to be one of those weapons, but like you see here, no special finisher. I did want to see what the interaction with the pool cue was, and it just hits like normal. And as my finisher currently is set to the Blackout, Aleister Black's spinning kick, if you're holding a weapon with one hand and press the finisher button, even though it doesn't say weapon finisher, you'll still just do the kick while holding the weapon, as you'll see at some points here in the video. But I'm just going to go over, make sure, as you can see, if you go up to the wrestler, if it has a finisher, anything, there's nothing here. Nothing in the basic weapons here. And we're going to transition over to the sports set of weapons, like your tennis rackets, your Jim Cornette's here. No finishers for him, sadly. The wheels. Again, oops, grabbed a tennis racket. See, and if you do press finisher, there you go, while you're holding it, and I happen to have the black mass, it still goes for the finisher. And if it's just a strike that's not going to interfere with the weapon, it'll still do it while you're holding the weapon. But nothing for a lacrosse stick. Guitar, I was really hoping you could shatter the guitar over their head. If you do a strong strike with the guitar, it doesn't shatter it. If you do a weak strike, it doesn't shatter it. No interaction with the guitar will shatter it. I've tested everything, and sadly it does not. The cricket bat, same thing. No weapon finisher. Nothing with the wheel. Nothing with the skateboard. Nothing with the bubbly. Though the skateboard itself, of course, does have very fun, cool interactions, like diving off it, which I will show you in this video as well. But right here, I'm just making sure I go through all of these weapons and get them all and see if there is a specific interaction with them. So skateboard, as you can see, no weapon finisher, nothing here. You can just pose with it. And it doesn't even do my Aleister Black kick. But here you go with the special interactions. Here's things you can do. You can dive from outside of the ring off the skateboard into him with the Darby Allin style dive. Whatever your springboard or your tope attack is what it will do. So that's very cool. Very, very cool interaction. One of the best, I think, that's unique to this game is being able to dive off that skateboard and do attacks from it. Very, very cool. The bubbly, obviously, you can see, doesn't have a finisher. If you do just a regular finisher like I did, it just holds the bottle while you do it. And dispose with it. You can still throw it and break it over them, but that is really the only interaction that weapon has there. Hockey stick, sadly, same thing. Nothing special here. You try the finisher. Again, if it's just strike finisher, it's just going to do, it's doing the black mass there. The Aleister Black spinning kick there. And we're going to transition here into some of the cooler interactions. Here is the Young Bucks shoe. If you have a strike finisher and you do a finisher, it will do it with the boot, but it won't bust them open. It will not make them bleed, which I thought was a little sad. If you just do a regular kick with the weapon, it will do a super kick. I do not have a super kick assigned. It will do a super kick just by holding down the Y, or I believe the triangle button on PlayStation, and it will bust them open in the face from the thumbtacks. But an Aleister Black kick finisher, though you can still do it with a shoe, will not. Now here's what everybody wants to see. The flaming table. All you do, pick up the table, walk over to them with it, press the weapon finisher when you're prompted. It will lay them in front of the flaming table. Of course, you cannot lay them across it to do a top rope move. But Still very cool that we get the flaming table in the game, and you can do whatever move you like from there. And as you'll see, as I was talking about in my previous video, if there's a floating table on top of stuff and you dive through it, it doesn't break it, sadly. I was hoping it would. It does not. Still very cool. This best weapon finisher in the game, in my opinion. You can do the Van Daminator. If you throw it to them, they'll catch it. And if you have a finisher that interacts with that, boom, just like the Black Mass. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I will have an entire separate video just on the different interactions you can have when throwing that chair and they catch it as a weapon finisher, and the different variations of a Van Daminator, quote unquote, that you can do. Whether it's the Van Daminator itself, the Black Mass, like you just saw, or whatever Aleister Black calls it in AEW. But incredible stuff. Propane tank is still very cool interactions. No weapon finisher. Any weapon, as you just saw there as well, you can strike guard while holding the weapon. So if someone goes to strike you while you're holding the weapon, you can still hold it up and guard with it. But that is the one and only interaction with the propane tank. Still one of the coolest ones in the game. But as I mentioned before, I have taken videos of over 40 different moves, different interactions you can do with while they're holding the chair in the Van Daminator position. But here is one of the only weapon finishers in the game right there, is the exploding barbed wire baseball bat. Boom. Go over to him with it. That's all it is. It's the one finisher. You'll hit him once in the stomach, and then once with the overhead, it'll make them bleed every time. And none of the other barbed wire weapons seem to have a single finisher. So if you're looking for weapon finishers, you're limited to, as you can see, that I did my finisher there. He just held the weapon. You're limited to the exploding barbed wire baseball bat, the table, which will turn it into a flaming table, the ladder, as you will see at the very end here. I do all the different ladder interactions as well for you, but there is a ladder finisher as well. And then, of course, the chair interaction. It throws it at their face for them to catch it like a Van Daminator, and then you can just proceed with whatever strikes might interact with that. Well, I show over 40 different moves in my upcoming video of the different variations you can do with the Van Daminator. Very cool stuff. That video is going to take me a little bit longer. It took me a long time to capture that video, or that footage. So I hope you guys really enjoy that one. But here comes one more time with the shoe. Boom, the Black Mass. Looks beautiful with the thumbtack shoe. But of course, it won't make them bleed. He was already bleeding. To make them bleed from the face, you just do the regular kick, strike animation, the hard kick with Y button or triangle. And here we're going to see one more throwing the propane tank from outside the ring. Very neat. I do try every weapon here just to show you. The regular non-exploding barbed wire baseball bat does not have a weapon finisher, sadly. Nada. We tried. Nothing. And then we'll also show you Janice right here. I think I'm testing just a couple of things up against maybe if anything has any interactions in the corner. They did not, sadly. I did try variation weapons, not all of which were captured in this video, but there's not really any corner weapon animations. But there are a few cool surprises in this game, as you'll find, just like in the exploding barbed wire deathmatch. If you have a special and they are leaning up against the ropes as they've exploded into the ropes, and as you can see with Janice here, just to interrupt that thought, Janice, no special for Janice. Sadly, no weapon finisher. But in the exploding barbed wire deathmatch, you can throw them outside the ring into more barbed wire when you have a special. Here, that is the only weapon finisher for a ladder. It will automatically move you in the direction of the opponent. You don't do it automatically. It'll just move you towards them, spinning the ladder around until you hit them. If right now I have the 630 equipped on this character, that's why I'm on this character, is that he has the 630 as his finisher. I was trying both from the laying down flat on his back as well as on his stomach, and it just does the elbow drop every time, even though I pressed the thumbstick in different directions. It still did a move, but it did that move. It didn't do my special, which was a little upsetting. So here you can place the ladder in the corner, of course, whip them into it. There's not anything from there. It's not like 2K where they'll stay prone up against it. They'll just hit it. And here you see he glitched out of the ring. And here I noticed, this is where I found out, you can actually set up the ladder wherever you want. I was trying to set up the ladder to dive to him the outside, and this is where I found out there's only specific places in the ring you can set it, as you see the prompt come up. So I thought this was very interesting that you can't just set up the ladder anywhere. You'll just drop it if you press the setup button in the wrong position. Here I'm just trying to grab the ladder again, and so pressing the right trigger on Xbox, I'm guessing it's R2 on PlayStation. But here you can set it. I didn't want to set it in the corner. I wanted to set it close so I could try and dive off of it. So here I'm going for a dive. This time I'll just do a regular one of my dives that I have set, not the special thumbstick button. So this does my coffin drop. Hits him on the outside. Very cool. Here, this was a unique interaction that was an accidental. I didn't set it up in the corner. It kind of just fell into it. So I wanted to see if the interactions with throwing him into it would be any different. So I'll show you here. I'll whip him in the ring, and I'll whip him into it. And it's pretty much the same as if you had just prone it in the corner. I thought maybe we'd get something a little special. But no, he just smacks into it, falls down. And here I will show you what happens if you do a move into it. Here I'm going to go for what is the Kenny Omega the Dragon? You know what I'm talking about. You'll see it right here. Signature, boom, hit him into the ladder. He reacts to it. It hurts. Here's some more moves onto the ladder. We've got finisher. He doesn't react to the Penta Driver. Doesn't react to the Penta Driver very well, but as you'll see here with a cutter, very nice reactions on the ladder. Boom, reacts, hits, it hurts. Amazing, beautiful stuff. Here we're going to see if we can jump over the ladder, and not quite, but we still hit the drop kick and it hits the ladder into him. Still pretty cool. We'll try it again with a few different moves. Here it's set up. Here we're going to go for it. Oh, here. We're going to go for a grapple and knock him down into the ladder, which sets it up in the corner. Kind of neat. And we're going to set it up again, see if we can, while he's on the ground, do a move over it. Maybe land the ladder on him. So here's a corner, 630. Just kind of knocks the ladder over. Doesn't really do much. I don't even know what happened there. He knows, so they don't know if he hit it. Here, boom, slammed him right in the ladder, and ow, that looked excruciating. Beautiful reactions from that one. The ladder is one of my favorite weapons. I do use it as my favorite weapon, so I can always pull it out and pull it out first. Whether I'm in a no disqualification match or just a regular one-on-one, because just doing some certain moves on the ladder, the reactions are just amazing. It just looks so beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful animations in this game. One of the few weapons that has some very unique tools. Here we're just trying some springboards, seeing what we can do, seeing if we can jump over it, hit the ladder into him. Here we hit it, but it didn't hit it into him. So I was just testing a variety of different things with the ladder here, what we could do. And again, I dropped it because I wasn't in the specific spot to set it up. But here's another springboard. There, the springboard still hit. That looked pretty cool because it kind of pushed the ladder into him. That was neat. And then lastly here, we have a couple more. Very cool. Trying to see if I could go underneath the middle of the ladder. I could not. Hands in the pockets here, accidental. But here, one last time, we'll set the ladder up, and we're going to go for a buckshot lariat to finish it off. Thanks for watching the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun. Take care, and we'll catch you later.